How's it going, fish fanatics? My name is Austin, and this is Fintastic Freaks. Yeah, y'all see it. Got the Murphy hat now. So throughout my channel and all the times that I've shown off my freshwater puffers, where if it's for the first time or just updates and such, throughout time I've gotten questions about these freshwater puffers. One question in which is, what would be a good starter puffer to anyone that's interested in getting into freshwater puffer keeping? And if you happen to consider yourself in that crowd, allow me to introduce you my suggestion. Ladies and gentlemen, fish fanatics alike, may I introduce to you the Pea Puffer. And I believe we got some followers here on the Fintastic family that are getting ready to keep some of these little guys themselves, as well as some followers and personal friends of mine that are considering keeping them. So, for especially people like you or anybody else that may be considering these fish one day, here is my Pea Puffer Care Guide. So Pea Puffers, also known as Dwarf Indian Puffers and Pygmy Puffers, to this very day, out of all the 6 current freshwater species of puffer that I have in my fish room, still remain as one of my favorites. And to me, one of the biggest things that makes these guys so easy to care for and maintain is they don't get very big. These guys that you're seeing here, yeah, that's about as big as they get. Pea Puffers only grow to be about an inch and a half at most. And while these puffers may be little and may stay little, they have very big personalities, just like any others would, such as a Fahaka, a Mabu, Amazons, any other puffer you could think of. These guys have a personality that's just as good as anyone else. My one recommendation though would be like this: have some plants in there, some wood, as they still can be a little territorial, especially the males. You'll want to have some plants, some rocks or wood that can break up the line of sight so that they can get away from each other should one of the puffers get a little aggressive. In terms of keeping these guys in a tank, the general rule of thumb is 5 gallons for the first pea puffer, and for each additional pea puffer that you may be considering, it's recommended that you give at least another 3 gallons to each one, which I know 5 plus 3 plus 3 is 11, but 3 you should still be just fine in a 10, and whereas a 20, I personally wouldn't do any more than 6, 7 at the absolute most. And speaking of numbers, while yes, you could just have one singular pea puffer in a 5-gallon tank, personally, I would try to go get a 10, and that way you can have at least 3. Reason being is, in the wild, they're used to swimming around their own species. They're not used to just swimming by themselves, and they'll be a lot more happy, a lot more comfortable if they're swimming with other fish of their kind. Part of this, of course, also depends on how territorial are the personalities of your fish. Males, in my opinion, tend to be a little more aggressive like other fish, but it's not rare to find a few feisty females though as well. The general ratio though to help keep these puffers' aggression in check is, for each one male, you want to try to have at least 2, if not 3 females if possible. And while sexing some pufferfish can be quite difficult, pea puffers are actually one where it is said to have a distinction between them. This right here is a female. I know that because her belly is more of a clear white to a whitish yellow, whereas our male right here has a more of a yellowish belly, as you can see.
Bye, have a great time.
And if you wouldn't have swam away there, I would have also shown you males also tend to have a line down the middle of their belly as well. Pea puffers, like most, if not all other freshwater puffers, are also a tropical water fish, so you will need to get them a heater, as they like their water temperature somewhere between 72 to 78 degrees. I personally keep mine more towards the higher end at 76 or 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Although sometimes they can deal with a little warmer, I wouldn't go any higher than 82 though. Continuing on with the water parameters, one thing that will make these things a little more of an intermediate fish is they are a scaleless fish, hence you really have to make sure you keep fine water quality. You gotta make sure that the water parameters stay crisp and clean, because since they are a scaleless fish, they are more susceptible to nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia, and can easily get parasites or sick if the parameters get bad. And my top recommendation to help avoid that is a lot of filtration. I personally always like to put a sponge filter in each of my tanks. I got a sponge filter 25-gallon grade right there, as well as a hang on the back filter that's doing another 40. So we have about 3 times the needed filtration on this tank, which helps keep the parameters in check quite easily, really. I would also recommend a little extra filtration, partially because of this fish's diet, which is quite a carnivorous and high protein one, as they are carnivorous in the wild, thus things like brine shrimp, bloodworms. I sometimes give mine even tubifex worms or young baby shrimp. I've sometimes given in some wee baby self-cloning crayfish and such, and all of which are very high protein diets that if particles get in the water, that can also contaminate it. The extra filtration, though, will help you keep that in check. And if you keep these water conditions all as they should be, your pea puffers should have a lifespan around 4 years. Most other freshwater puffers, you hear about their beak-like teeth and how you need to feed them hard, crunchy foods to help trim down those teeth of theirs. Well, good news. With pea puffers, you don't have to worry about that. While pea puffers do still have those teeth, they don't continuously grow unlike a lot of other freshwater and saltwater puffers do. Of all the freshwater puffers out there, this is easily, in my mind, one of the easiest ones and most simplistic ones to keep. So whether if you just bought some pea puffers and were looking for some tips and pointers, or if you're looking up some stuff before you get them, I hope this video helped out and gave you some helpful tips on how you can get the most of these guys. But fish folk, let me know what you thought about this video. If you like this care guide or like looking at the pea puffers, give this video a thumbs up. And perhaps we have some other pea puffer keepers out here that ran across this video. If you think I forgot a tip or would like to add something, feel free to do so in the comments below. Or if you have any other questions about the pea puffers, feel free to also put those in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them as best as my knowledge as I can. And if you're relatively new to the channel and have not done so already, consider clicking the subscribe button to stay in the loop with everything that I do, such as fish care videos as this, or like my last video, fish reveal videos, which was also a bit of a fish store visit video as well, which I plan to do more of those as 2021 progresses, as well as numerous other things that I hope you'll be along to the ride to see as well. But as always, thank you very much for watching my video, and to my subscribers for all the support, and I will see all of you in the next video. Stay fantastic.